Darth Maul was introduced to us all the way back in 1999 in Star Wars Episode 1 The Phantom Menace. This mysterious, intriguing, and honestly just really cool character would unfortunately meet his demise at the hands of Obi-Wan Kenobi after killing Kenobi's master Qui-Gon Jinn, just as we were getting used to him. He would, of course, make his return in the Clone Wars animated series, and over the years has become a fan favorite among Star Wars fans. But when exactly did the Sith Lord known as Darth Sidious meet his Zabrak assassin? How long had Maul been with Sidious, lurking, carrying out missions for the evil Sith? Well, in our history in today's video, it begins with one of the most acclaimed novels in Star Wars Legends, that of course being the novel Darth Plagueis by James Luceno, a great writer who also wrote multiple works in the Star Wars galaxy. During Palpatine's apprenticeship under Plagueis, he had a craving to visit Sith worlds, dark side worlds. He would find himself on the planet Dathomir, and while there, he began to feel something. The novel says this: he was meandering without clear purpose through one of Blue Desert City's dustier quarters, far from the city center, when he became aware of a faint pulse of force energy, the origin of which was indistinct but close at hand. Reaching out with the Force, Palpatine would soon find himself in the market area where he would spot a woman wearing a crimson robe with its hood raised, carrying a small bag on her shoulder. She exuded dark side energy, accompanied by a sense of urgency and deceit. After a few moments of watching her, Palpatine would make himself discernible in the Force, and it didn't take long for the woman to notice him. "Good sir," she called to Palpatine in Basic as she drew near. Palpatine pretended to be taken by surprise. The woman would single Palpatine out as having the appearance of an intellectual and influential man, something Palpatine of course agreed with. The two exchanged a few words, and Palpatine would give a laugh when the woman offered him a gift. She would open the bag she was carrying and reveal a small humanoid child less than a year old, a male Zabrak with short horns and ceremonial tattoos. "My own child, this one is," the woman said. "I seek only to save his life." And the two would have a conversation pretty decent in length, where Palpatine would identify the woman as a night sister, therefore the young infant as a night brother. But for this video, I won't go over every little minute detail, but instead really only cover some of the important points. Upon Palpatine's inquiry, the woman essentially says that she is trying to spare this infant and allow him to live a free life since his sibling cannot. She also identifies Mother Talzin as the threat she is trying to safely deliver the child from. It took some convincing from the woman, but Palpatine would eventually agree to take the child, as he could feel that the Force was strong in him, and that essentially would be a good enough reason to keep him from wandering about, or worse, fall into the hands of the Jedi. Maul would spend the first few years of his life in the care of droids at a secret location on Mustafar. Sidious would tell his master about Maul, and Plagueis would give Sidious permission to train the Zabrak as an apprentice. Now, if you're a bit confused by this, seeing how this is still the Rule of Two era, and Palpatine and Plagueis were the two Sith at that time, Maul was really meant to be trained as a Sith assassin only, someone who could do the bidding of Plagueis and Sidious and not be considered a true Sith apprentice, merely a tool who could be expendable. To say that Maul had a pretty terrible, torturous upbringing under Sidious's training would be an understatement, and we won't cover all of the details here, but instead fast forward to Maul's final test. He would be abandoned on the world of Hypori and be forced to survive hordes of assassin droids. After much time had passed, Sidious would return and challenge Maul to a lightsaber duel, which Maul would lose due to being so weakened as well as injured. Sidious would taunt Maul, saying that he had been training a new apprentice to take Maul's place instead, that Maul had failed. The furious Zabrak lunged toward his master and sunk his teeth into Sidious's hand. However, Maul was so spent that he prepared for death. Sidious would then reveal the truth. There was no other apprentice, and by Maul wanting to kill his master, he had indeed passed the final test, and he was now Darth Maul. Maul is such a fascinating character, and I love how fleshed out he becomes in things like the Clone Wars series, seeing him with his brother Savage Opress, and of course we recently got the news that a new series is in the works with Sam Witwer returning to voice the iconic character, so I'm really excited for that. So I hope you enjoyed this little history lesson about one of my favorite Star Wars characters, and let me know some of your favorite Darth Maul moments in the comments down below, as well as any other sorts of videos that you would like to see us make in the future. So as always, thank you very much for watching. May the Force be with you all, and I will catch you in the next one.